See him a beast when he hear that sound like. Yeah, beat on the beat when he hear that sound like. Woo. Yeah, bitch and the champ only need one round like. Yeah, me, I'm a G bring heat in the sound like.
Hey everybody, Jake Noecker here, and on the Scrap News today, another Cage Fury fighter fighting at Cage Fury 119, April 20th. Max, the Candyman, Quinones. Max,
Right.
how you doing, brother? Happy fight week.
Oh, baby. I'm excited. It is go time. Last hard sparring was yesterday. Final pieces are coming together. Just managing the weight, making things happen, and then ready to perform. It's going to be an extravaganza, to say the least.
And I'm pretty sure you've done the Thursday cards before. Do you have any preference between Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Oh, I like Thursdays, really.
You get the long weekend, right?
You get a long weekend. You're just hanging out. You set something else up afterwards. So, and it was a pretty early night. I saw the fight card. I think I'm probably number 3, and my boy is number 5. So it's gonna be early fights, and then I'll probably stay for like 1 or 2 more that I have like an eye on, and then just cut out, do my thing.
And who's your boy that you're referencing?
Tyler Keaton.
Yeah, I just making sure everybody who's watching knows. And before we get into this card, last time out, Cage Fury 114, I believe it was. You got your first finish as a professional fighter. How good did that feel to go in there, get a finish as a pro?
I mean, it didn't. The first initial need wasn't intentional, so I did feel a type of way knowing that I mean I got to finish regardless. But at the end of the day, that initial there's still a learning experience. You know what I mean? So we still learn from every win, lose, draw, however it goes. So it was just more so a learning curve more than anything. We didn't really praise it too much. We were just on to the next thing. Each opponent is a different roadblock to the bigger picture. So I have a certain expectation with myself and where I see myself being. And it's just another day in the office. Like, let's just keep it rolling because I know where we're heading towards. And it's just a matter of time.
And, hometown, Tampa, Florida, fighting, get the home field advantage, as they say. How does it feel to be back at the Hard Rock? You like it there a lot, I assume?
I like it, but I tune everything out. You know what I mean? Like when the haircut, the war paint, everything comes on, it's a different switch, and everything is just like tunnel vision. Like right now, like I'm just being my bubbly self. Like I'm hanging out, chilling, having a great interview with my boy Jake. But at the end of the day, when it comes to weigh-ins, that switch turns on. Then come fight day, it's a different mindset. So it's just hearing my coaches, hearing the right voices that I need to be hearing in my ear, the same game plan, same mentality that I've been going into the camp with. We're just bringing that to the cage.
And I know you tune it out, but are you bringing a big crowd with you, a lot of family and friends?
Yeah, over 100 tickets sold. Over 100 tickets sold. Yeah, on my end. So then that's the big push I want. Like, because I know my Def 4 teammates, they bring in a draw too. So I wanted to make sure I took advantage of like, hey, look, like even though it's just myself and Tyler's bringing in a good crowd as well. But I wanted them to know, hey, look, Candyman brings a little fan base as well. You know what I mean? And this was the most successful as far as getting organizations coming together as far as partnerships. So I had a couple of companies hit me up just to do this for a team outing. So that was nice, like having those kind of like 5 tickets. You're like, all right, cool. Here's your company. Boom, we can make it happen. It'll be a good time.
So do you know Riley Palmer at all? He trains at AT&T down there, Cage Fury guy.
Yeah. He fought my teammate Argenis in the amateur.
Okay, yeah. Well, so Riley just got big pro win in his last fight up here in Pennsylvania, man. I just want to prepare you when you have that many people coming, as I'm sure you know, you're gonna have a long line of people waiting afterwards for a picture.
And that I do love that experience. Like I mean, that's the beauty about the casino, right? Like it's 24 hours. You don't gotta get kicked out from like a little auditorium at like 11 p.m. and then meet up somewhere else. Like everyone can just hang out, have a good time, play their cards, do what they gotta do, get a drink. And it's a good time for me to be social. Like we have a babysitter that holds it down for us, for our little one. So me and my wife, we just take full advantage, try to network, try to build those relationships, and then pick and choose what we want to deal with at the end of the day. Is the power of choice, my friend.
And I was gonna ask you because I saw your daughter is watching you train, and she loves that. Saying "daddy," and it was hilarious. You said she's gonna get a babysitter. So she's not gonna be at the fight. I know she's a little young for that, but like, how does she feel? I know she's young, but how does she feel about her dad being a professional fighter? Does she have
She
any
loves
like?
it.
Yeah.
She loves it. Like every time, like I rewatch film or anything as far as that nature, like we watch fights together, her and I. And she watches educational, like Miss Rachel and things of that nature. But anything that's entertainment is fighting. So she'll watch. If I'm on TV, she'll know. She'll be like, "Daddy, Daddy," or if I'm training, she'll be like, "Daddy, Daddy." And then whenever, because I have a gym in my garage too, wrestling mats, heavy bag, the whole bed, double end bag, and she'll make me bounce between the two and go bop bop. That's what we call it. We call it bop bop. So she'll be like bop bop, and then I had to carry her to the other side, bop bop, bop bop, and then it's a whole little game for her. So it's a good time. She loves it, and I think as she gets older, she's just gonna be more understanding and more appreciative of what's going on behind the scene. Because a lot of people think that they're about that life and really would fight and kill for their children, but no one's stepping in a cage. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. You got only what 10, 15 years to really maximize something. And if you're really about it and you want to change something for your family's life, get in the fucking cage and duke it out with someone and see if you're really about it. And obviously there's other ways to make a living. I'm not saying like not everyone has to go that direct route to violence and stuff of that nature, but that's just my God chosen path, I believe, to be a dominant force to be reckoned with.
I love it, dude. That's a great answer. Very poetic. And just to get back towards this fight now, training camp, just do me a favor and break down your training schedule. Where have you been training? Who you've been training with? Yada, 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 the whole nine.
So we actually moved into a new facility, therefore everything's in-house now. So I used to outsource my jiu-jitsu and that nature, but everything's in-house. So at least getting minimum 2 days a week, 6 days out of the week, one rest, and then it all depends on how my body's feeling. I listen to my body a lot because a lot of people have their regimen for training mapped out. But what about the rest regimen? You tell someone, hey, what's your rest looking like? Oh, I just have a day. But what's that day consist of? Like, are you sleeping in between your downtime between the two sessions? Are you eating the right proper things? So it's 2 days out of the week. Typically my Tuesdays are like the off day, but I'll still get like a active recovery kind of workout, just to like work out the lactic acid, stay nice and loose. And then the really rest time is kind of leading up to like now. Like I get to a zen kind of mode, focus on the cardio, the weight aspect. I'll flow, I'll see things, but it's not anything like hard. But this is like the real like kind of downtime that I'll have is like focus on the weight, make sure my body is as close to 100% as possible, and then we go from there. But therefore, out of Tampa, everything's in house. I do my privates, get the work in, strength conditioning in my house and things like that too. And I have a coach, mental coach. So just finding the time for everything. That's really what it is. This is a full-time gig, and I treat it as such. Full-time business, not gig, business.
And who's going to be in your corner for this one?
It'll be Coach Daniel and then Coach Devin.
Awesome, man. And
the one that slapped me the first time, that's Coach Devin. That's Coach Devin. He's a character. I love him. I love him.
You like getting slapped a little bit?
It gets you riled up. I mean, that was the hardest hit of the fight.
Fair enough, man.
His slap. So I mean, like just the dip, like the wrestling aspect of like the intensity and like how he grew up in that wrestling like environment. Coach Daniel has like that mentality of like he doesn't give a fuck who you are kind of deal, which I love. Coach Devin has like, and they both have that intensity, but with wrestling, it's it's a different kind of intensity. Like you're in a room drilling for like 2 hours, just going nonstop. It's a different mental aspect, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Like you can make anything a mental battle if you want to, but definitely the wrestling side is more of like the mental, like fortitude and like that kind of like nonstop pressure. All right, drill back up, boom, back in it. So it's definitely good having them in my corner, both of them in my corner, really.
And the fight, Cage Fury 119, April 20th. You're going up against Alvin Welch. Any past encounters with Alvin? What are your thoughts on him as an opponent?
I mean, he's just another guy. Fuck him. Like at this rate, is like anybody that wants to step in the cage, like obviously I have respect towards people. I'm not a disrespectful person. I'm not gonna go out my way and be like, oh fuck you, bitch, type of deal. But when we're facing each other and it's a fight, there's no respect. There's no dabbing each other up. Like there's like we're here to do business, and I go about my way. You're holding half my check. I'm taking that check. That's putting food in my baby's mouth and my family's mouth. So we're gonna get right. We're gonna get after it. And like he's from Washington State, it's gonna be a whole different vibe coming to Florida, baby. It's a whole different vibe. Like you already know, it's seasonal. It switches up and down. It could be 40 degrees and then 85, and like some random stuff, pollen. Like there's so many other factors, and like I'm just grateful I have an opponent because it was 4 people that said no. We just found out 2 weeks ago that Alvin signed up, so we appreciate that, and we salute to him for making that trip all the way across the country. But it's not going to be a cakewalk, that's for sure.
And is that why this fight's at catch weight, because it's short notice on his end?
Correct.
Understood. And, when you look at, I'm not sure if you've been watching tape or anything, but when you look at your guys' styles and put them up against each other, how do you think that plays out?
I'm more experienced. I'll just say that. Very more experienced. So I think that experience is going to play a big factor going into that cage. And I'm very quick on noticing like tendencies and rhythms and stuff of that nature. And he doesn't have that much, one, cage time, two, the experience that of fighters that he's fought against compared to the people I fought against, or the level of training partners. And not to disrespect their gym or anything, but I just know my gym is that shit. You know what I mean? So I'm going against people that are heavier off the gate every day, all day. So it's just, he's a natural 125er. He can't be walking around much more than 145. You know what I mean? At the most. So we ain't worried about shit. But I know what things to look out for. I have them noted, and I have my own game plan as well that I'm going to impose on.
And, this fight is at the Hard Rock Casino, so there's a betting angle to this. A lot of people are going to be betting on these fights. I know whenever it comes up here to the Atlantic City, I throw a little money on my boys. But that being said, for those who are watching who are going to want to bet, you got like a prediction, a method of victory. How do you think this one plays out betting-wise?
Betting-wise? I mean, shoot. It can go wherever. I'm just leaving it in God's hands. Whenever people ask me for picks of fights and stuff like that, they usually lose on their parlay with one of them. So I wouldn't come to me for like the betting advice. If it's poker, I got you. But if it's something else, all right, like fighting, just put your money on me. Don't look for first round, second round, third round decision, whatever case, submission. However it ends out, I will be victorious. That's the only thing I can guarantee.
And maybe if you're like a -400 and Tyler's like a -400, we parlay the two of you. How about that?
Oh, that sounds great.
There you go. Love it. And, fighting Cage Furious is your third fight with them as a professional. How do you like them as a promotion, man? Rob Haydeck runs a great show. John Morgan, CM Punk. Best, I call it regional, but they're really kind of just
they're taking it off.
Big league promotion, yeah.
They really are. And I'm so grateful for Coach Daniel for aligning us with that opportunity to be able to showcase our talent with them, because if they're not the biggest on the East Coast, I think they're bigger than like as far as regional quote unquote scenes, they're there. They're like the number one. So not only if I'm grateful to be part of this journey, be part of this experience, but the fact that I know this is a UFC feeder or a bigger promotion feeder, however this journey lands us, is only going to propel us. All I got to do is show up and do what I do best, and that's fight. And be able to do interviews, things of that nature, little media obligations. But other than that, and it's not even obligations, it's really something that I enjoy doing. Yeah. So I'm just grateful for the exposure, the opportunity, and Rob, Aries, everyone over the team that make it happen for a smooth operation as well too.
And what's next, man? Are you looking to stay with Cage Fury, chase that belt a little bit? You think you're going to start promotion shopping soon? How do you think the more immediate future is going to play out?
We're going to see how the cards lay out. I mean, we're going to focus on Alvin and then go back to my coach, see what the game plan is. We got some things cooking up, some big business ventures that I plan on working up. So it's just a matter of lining everything to ascend us, not in the fastest, but in the most correct, efficient method possible. while being able to receive the most on our bank account as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's only a short window, so it's a numbers game, and I'm grateful that I do have only one fight deal per fight with CFFC, so it does allow me that opportunity to shop around. But I'm relatively not relatively. I am a loyal person to that degree, to where if I know I have something good, I'm not going to chase something else. You know what I mean? So this is something working, is doing well. I love the promotion. I hope they love me as well, and I hope I bring in the draw and the fans love me too. So that way we just keep this flourishing relationship going.
Well, I was told to get an interview with you, so they like you that much at least.
Hey, my man.
Got you. And you know, obviously you just said what you want to have come short term and where you're at right now, but long term, rest of your career, ultimate career goals, what do those look like?
I can show you on my phone. It's a long list. I don't know if you want me to read
Pull it up, bro. Let's hear it. I love that. You're manifesting it.
Let's see where it go right here. All right, so it goes from here. No, it's where not words. It gets better. Boom, 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 boom. We go all the way.
Damn.
We scroll. So the way I visualize and things of that nature, it's like I have a mental coach. His name is Danny Collins. So pretty much we dissect like not only like financial temperature, but just like comfortability temperature, to where it's like, all right, where do we see ourselves here, here, and here, and so on and so forth. So as far as the many fights, I am a little bit behind that on schedule. And so I wanted to finish the year at 7-0. Wanted to finish the year at 7-0. So that's 5 fights in 2023. Did you get a title? Going into my 6th fight, I'll successfully win the title on the 7th, win the title defense in spectacular fashion. Talk about it with everyone and ready out all the time. Visualize each level in the UFC and before. So then that's where it goes down to the taste, the sound, the hearing, the all 5 senses, the touch. That goes a big paragraph, because that smell, like just every feeling, the sight, every sense is being like told and explained in like great detail, and I have it all written down. I mean, it's really something to look at. If you really want me to read it, I can read it, but I think I'll explain the 1 month, 3 month, 6 month goal. How's that work?
Paraphrase them out. Yeah.
Cool. So 1 month, stay in fight shape, skill build, and add more strength and conditioning to my program. Build up my personal training clients to change life, not only for them but for my family as well. Lock down a wedding, like these are family goals, things of that nature. So that's already hit. I already knocked out those goals. 3, boom. This one is for CFFC. Have successfully beat my opponent in the next CFFC in April. Collect a check. That's the 3 month one, because I started in December 31st. This goal. 6 month goal. I'll be I'll be healthy. Blah, blah, blah. Already have 2 fights with finishes so far. Continue growing my personal training, learn the business as well. And then the year, I like to have my clients for personal training set up, stay active, fighting close to the year at 7-0, closing the year at 7-0 with dominant performances. My way into the UFC, and then boom, and then making sure my family exceeds milestones, remains loved and healthy.
That's great,
so
man.
that's pretty
That's
much
like...
paraphrasing. Yeah, that's all paraphrasing.
No, that's awesome though, dude. I respect that a lot, because I'm an extreme phone notes person. I have my clock going, so I can't pull them up right now, but I have my literal days broken down by the minute, like weeks in advance. That's just how my mind works, and it keeps me on track and all that. So for you to do that with your fight career, I've never seen anybody do it that meticulously. And I think that is an absolutely great idea. That's just like, minds work differently, and my mind understands the way that works. And I think that's going to lead to a lot of success for you.
And you just keep reading it over. Like if you're having a day that's not necessarily your greatest day, well, go back to it, refresh. And I'm very big on like personal development, up leveling, things of that nature. And before cage fighting, and excuse me, excuse me.
All good.
So I was doing sales for X amount of years, like ever since I graduated high school till now. And the biggest thing that they emphasize as well, not only to be able to sell yourself, but it's also a fight. Like when you go to, I used to go in the homes, have the close 6-figure deals, like right then and there on the spot within like 2 hours, like roof deals, solar deals, like AC things of that nature.
Yeah.
So then it's a battle. Like you want to make sure you're always prepared. And that was one thing they emphasized, like do your homework, do your research, do the things that you know get you in the right state of mind, and just keep repeating it, repeating it, repeating it, repeating it. And when I was during my car accident, that was the biggest thing that really got me by, which is the mental like gratitude and like keep pushing forward and like just really locking into the mental side of things. Absolutely.
And my last question for you really is not the opposite of that, but that's you manifesting and talking about your life goals, but essentially your fight goals. So when you're not training to fight and when you're not inside the octagon or in the gym, how are you spending your time? Like, tell me a little bit about Max the person. What are your hobbies and interests during your free time, if you have any?
Yeah, so I mean, I love spending time with my family. That's I don't know if you heard her over there.
We do
It's my
hear
wife
her.
and baby girl. They're just cuddling up, but she's a little bit on the sick side right now, so we're trying to make her feel better. But just spending time with the family, going out to like little walks, the zoo, anything that involves me and my girls. Me and my girls are like that. That's my bread and butter. And then if we're home, just hanging out, I play video games, just PUBG, and I don't stream yet. I plan on it at some point. I want to get a little nicer, but hey, I have a good KD ratio of like pop, 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 pop. Comedy shows, hanging out with friends at times, like whenever there is like a little bit of time, like we'll catch like UFC fight or something. Like that's probably like the only time I could really chop it up with friends.
Sure.
But other than that, it's just spending time with the family. I love spending time with my family, playing video games, and then fighting.
I love it, man. That sounds like the dream life right there. And
I'm blessed. I love my life. I get paid to work out. Come on now.
bro,
I get paid to work out and beat ass.
my wife
That's
last
great.
night, she was like, so like the fighters that you interview, like not like the UFC guys, but like, you know, more like cage fear people. She's like, what are they like? What do they do for work? And I'm like, they go to the gym and train. She was like, what? That's awesome. I was like, I know.
And that's what I'm blessed with as well, because she's my biggest sponsor. I mean, I have sponsors behind me, and they help me along the journey. But we've had some investments set aside to where, like, all right, we get a monthly income to where we're literally stay-at-home parents with that income, and to be able to train and focus on fighting full time. Plus the sponsors backing me as well. It allows me to be able to focus like my energy into the gym and still put food on the table. So without everyone being a village, it is challenging, but can be done. I mean, you see like Demetrius Johnson working construction, busting his ass, and still being able to be a great fighter that he is. GSP working 5 jobs, still doing college a whole bit, and being one of the goats as well. So as long as you have that purpose, that drive, that mentality of like, hey, look, if I want something done, I'm gonna get it done. It's gonna happen if you make the choice. That's the beauty about choice. It's the power of choice. It's all a decision. People think you're stuck in somewhere. You're not. It's a choice to get out of it. It's a choice to do better. It's a choice to take the bull by the horns and say, no, this doesn't feel right. This isn't right. Family or not, fuck that shit. Like if they're not serving you and they're being an anchor versus an engine, cut the shit out. Cut it out. There's no point. What purpose does it serve you?
Yeah, man, it's a good perspective, and it's clearly showing towards your success as well. And Max, before we get out of here, man, I just want to give you the opportunity, because you do have such a great family, friend group, support group, over 100 tickets sold, and also 8,000 subscribers on the Scrap News watching this interview. So anything you would like to say to everyone, the mic is yours.
First and foremost, I would say all glory to God. For him blessing me with like this opportunity to be able to continue my career. My wife, family, my team, everyone that's been in support since day one, making everything happen. I got my sponsors in the back as well. We got that for my team, of course. And we got Bartow Ford. We just locked them in not that long ago. New partnership flourishing. So a little automotive dealership. Not low, it's freaking Ford. It's Ford, baby. We got Ford on the team. We got Ducky's, a little sports bar, Angry Elephant. He's been rocking with me since day one. He's the owner of the tattoo shop that does all my work. Omega Gamma Delta, men's fraternity. They've been supporting me and my father-in-law for a while as well. just doing charitable work, giving back to the community. Barbers R Us Plus, D Barber, the shot caller, what the master hairdo. Tuesday we're getting it done. Sorry I look rough today. I just save it up for Tuesday, baby. And then we got P&G, which is a cannabis company out of Oklahoma. They provide medical supplies and things of that nature to people in need. Also, Team Reaper for the fire apparel. And then we got YFI that does the banner, and they make a sick logo as well. And then obviously my man Jake, I appreciate you taking time to interview me, boss. And it's not it's often I get hit up, but I'd rather spend the time with people that genuinely care about helping fighters grow and grow their platform. And what you're doing is awesome. I salute to you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing, baby.
I appreciate it, man. People tell me all the time, hey, man, you're a great journalist. And I'm like, I'm not a journalist, man. I am a content producer that helps promote fighters, because without you guys, I wouldn't have a job and we wouldn't have a sport. So, Max, thank you for your time, dude. I really appreciate it. And I'm really looking forward to the fight April 20th, this Thursday. Cage Fury, people, check it out. UFC Fight Pass, and watch that Max Quinones W. Max, kick ass, brother. All right.
Thank you, brother, man. Appreciate you.